Stay tuned for urban legends to ghostly tales of the paranormal, because now it's time for
Message on the Wall.
This week's Message on the Wall brings you the Pirate's Treasure. This story takes us to one of the sea islands just off Charleston in South Carolina, called Folly Island, where in a mansion on the strip of land lived a pirate captain named Watson. He and his crew raided many ships from his own that was kept anchored just off the island. It was in 1820 that the captain received news that an American naval ship was on its way to capture him and his crew. Knowing they would be hung as an example to deter others from taking up a life of piracy, Watson set his crew and slaves to work loading his possessions on board his ship. Knowing it would be dangerous to load any treasure, for his crew could easily mutiny in the name of greed, he had his precious gold, silver and jewels buried. The mansion was set on fire, and as it burned a lottery was held, drawing straws for who would watch over the treasure. The short straw was drawn by a big Jamaican man, at least 6'5" in height. He was given a pistol and a bag of coins in exchange for guarding the treasure chests. But as soon as he opened the bag of coins, Captain Watson ran him through with his sword, and turning to those present, warned that anyone who tried to steal the treasure would have to get past the now dead Jamaican. The pirates buried their shipmate on top of the 6 treasure chests, and then set sail, never to return to Folly Island. It was years later, during the Civil War, that the island was occupied by the Union Army, being used as a depot and camp for troops to besiege Charleston. With the treasure forgotten, it was an old woman named Jetty, having been a slave to Captain Watson, who related the tale of the treasure to one of the soldiers, and she knew exactly where it was, as the pirate captain had buried it between 2 oak trees in her own backyard. When the soldier asked why it hadn't been retrieved, the old woman said that no one who knew of the treasure would return because of the pirate's ghost. That same night, the soldier, named Yoakum, along with a Lieutenant Atcher, went to the oak trees and began to dig. It had been a calm night, but as they set to with their shovels, the tops of the oak trees began to sway in a breeze that seemed to spring up from nowhere. Then came a flash of lightning, but it wasn't followed by any thunder. A second flash left the 2 men in no doubt they were not alone, and with the prolonged streak lighting up the sky, they saw very clearly the large figure of a man that looked all his worth to be a pirate. Stricken with panic, they dropped their shovels and ran back to the safety of the camp. The next day the attack began on Morris Island, and neither of them were able to return in a bid to retrieve the treasure. It wasn't for another 50 years that Yoakum related his story at a veterans' conference, and so the treasure of Folly Island may still be waiting to be found. That is, if you're brave enough to confront the ghost of a pirate set with the task of guarding that treasure. You have been listening to Message on the Wall, brought to you in association with Paranormal Parodies. You can find Paranormal Parodies at paranormal-parodies.com.